next Under the Lights.
If we play football a certain kind of way here at Navy, we play clean and mean.
A showdown of defenses at Western. Who will win the longest rivalry in the state? Enough of the RPI talk. Josh Wilson joins us to break down some of the playoff pairings.
Are you ready?
A season to fight for. The Boca Raton boys are playing for Riley.
It's a great feeling that knowing that, I touched their lives and they're coming back to help me.
The Muck Bowl and the Battle of the Barrel.
We are Orlando.
It is so great to see you again. Hi, I'm Dave Aizer.
I'm Kailey Mizelle, and this is Under the Lights, Florida High School Football Final, driven by Honda. Dave, it was the final week of the regular season, the last chance for teams to get into playoff form.
Well, we know all about St. Thomas and how good they are, but they took on a Western Wildcats team you may not know too much about, but you should. Western has quietly been setting records this season on defense. They have only given up one touchdown with future All-American and Georgia commit James Williams on the field. He didn't play half of the university game where they suffered their only loss of the year, 14-9. And check this out. They've outscored their opponents 396-14, and their 7 shutouts are the most of any school in Broward County history, dating back to 1956. Okay, could the Wildcats defense key a big upset against the Raiders? Well, Western took the lead in the second half. Early third quarter, the Wildcats go up 7-3 on this TD pass from Colin Hurst to Shamar Wright. The fans in Davie are loving it, but on the ensuing kickoff, St. Thomas strikes back thanks to one of their best players. Highlight machine Jaden McBurrows, who has notched multiple pick sixes this year, returns the kickoff 98 yards to the house, breaking tackles along the way. Raiders up 10-7. And from there, St. Thomas did not look back. Tyson Russell picks off Colin Hurst, takes it 56 yards for the touchdown. The St. Thomas D is pretty good too. They picked off Hurst 5 times in the game. Check out all that open field running. And then to offense, where Zion Turner finds Javante Royal for the 60-yard score. Raiders roll 41-16. And that takes us to our Vico defensive plays of the week. There were so many great defensive plays in this game, but we had to highlight James Williams. You heard us talking him up before. Well, he had 2 picks, and both of them killed St. Thomas drives. But the biggest play to begin the second half was making the tackle and stripping the ball and nearly pulling off a strip 6. Dude is a star.
8-1 Armwood taking on the undefeated Cowboys in a top 25 matchup. Cowboys quarterback Tony Bartalo looks to run, but is shut down. Keep watching. The ball is stripped away. E.J. Perry runs it all the way to the end zone. In a low-scoring game, Armwood adds another touchdown. Cameron can run. Ranson takes it. Armwood wins 14-0.
And this game brings us our Advent Health Play of the Week, and it is all about defense. You just saw it. Gaither's Tony Bartalo tries to scramble, but Armwood's Emmanuel Perry wrestles the ball away, rumbles to the end zone. A strip and a score. Our Advent Health Play of the Week. Edison hosting 4th-ranked Northwestern at Traz Powell Stadium in Miami. Northwestern gets the party started on offense. Teron Dixon to Marcus Fleming for the 26-yard TD. But, Kaylee, story of the day was the Bulls' defense. Northwestern held Edison to 144 total yards, notched the TD here with Ernest Johnson's scoop and score in the rain. Bulls dominate 30-0, and they set their sights on trying to win their 3rd straight state title.
Noticing a pattern with the defense in Orlando, number 6 Edgewater finishing their season with Boone. Edgewater's Isaiah Conley runs to the end zone, and hey, take a bow, Mr. Conley. You earned it. Braves' Christian Roberts swings outside, does a helicopter into the end zone, and hey, we got a game. Or do we? The number 6 team has too much talent, and it's on display here. Christian Leary with the catch breaks free from the defender to the end zone. Edgewater wins 54-20. Rockledge Raiders in their final regular season game against Cocoa. Cocoa must know magic because they tricked everyone on this play. Keziah Holmes up the middle has speed, and his magic trick ends with 7 points. Cocoa confident, but DJ Arroyo picked off by Raiders' Kenyard Snyder, who returns it for the Raiders' first touchdown of the game. Battling from behind, Rockledge has momentum and the Raiders come back to win in the Barbecue Bowl against Cocoa, 24-17.
For our Orlando Health Hit of the Week, we stay with this game. Keziah Holmes breaks into the open field and gets depleted by Rockledge's TJ Neal. Ouch! Woo. Yeah, well, you think that's bad? In slow motion, it's even more ferocious.
Yikes.
It's our Orlando Health Hit of the Week. Kaylee, that's why I played tennis. The 12th-ranked Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs swaying and swinging their way against the Monarch Knights. They were slinging it, too. Big day for QB Brody Polhegi. First, he finds Majon Wright on that slant for the touchdown. Then he gets Troy Stellato, who makes his way into the end zone. Polhegi wasn't done, not even close. Rifles this pass to Bryson Williams, and later connects with Stellato again. Brody and the boys, they rolled to a 56-14 win.
Lakewood defending their perfect season. Dunbar looking to stop it, and they're doing a good job of it early. Tigers, Jaquars, Riggins running, looks to Roger Motley. Motley falls down but comes up with the touchdown. Lakewood in a unique position, fighting from behind. Familiar faces, Greg Duspan to TJ Tampa for the touchdown. Now Lakewood down by 1. Daryl Kelly III takes the handoff, and the Spartans stay undefeated, taking down Dunbar 31-24.
Bartram Trail against Rains, and the Bears looking to finish the regular season undefeated, but Rains had other ideas. Kyrie Hammond picks off Chad Dotson, and he races 75 yards for the score. But hey, Bartram Trail was able to bear it. A.J. Jones III scampers in, and the Bears stay perfect. They win 38-15, and they're primed for the playoffs.
Apopka came ready to play. The Blue Darters taking on Wekiva. Curtis Spivey takes the rock on the first snap of the game, gallops 31 yards for a Blue Darter score. Hey, Dave, you like that?
Sure.
Well, there's more. Quarterback Jaquan Lohman to Jalen Williams, and another score. And then you guessed it, Lohman shows off his skills, 80 yards, and another score. Blue Darters, with their 4th shutout of the season, win 34-0.
The first quarter is in the books.
But we got a lot to get to, so let's go.
Coming up, Boca Raton is playing for Riley. And the playoff pairings are out. We break down who's playing who. Under the Lights is driven by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. By Advent Health. Our goal is to help you feel whole. And by the Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it.
You are listening to the Lakewood Marching Spartans. Dave, can you name that tune?
I have no idea what that is.
The Spartans are playing tribute to Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1989.
Wow, we are a part of the Rhythm Nation.
Woo, nice job, Sparty.
Okay, well now I hear it. Friday night was a big rivalry night.
And when you're talking about rivalries, you have to talk about Hardee and DeSoto County. They own the record for the oldest and most continuous rivalry in the state. They've been playing since 1921. And it's cats and dogs. In the 101 meetings, the Wildcats have 62 wins. The Bulldogs looking to keep it that way. Hardee driving the handoff to Zachary Hooks, and he hooks himself a score. But DeSoto has a number 4 of their own. Jaquimus Palam finds a hole, and no one is catching him, Dave. Although the ref, hey, he's got some speed of his own.
Seriously.
Tied up early, but the Wildcats change that fast. Hayden Dunlap finds space and pushes for the Bulldogs score. Hardee County hosts the trophy 42-6.
Wonder if the ref has any eligibility. The St. Augustine, where the Yellow Jackets hosted the Palatka Panthers in the 101st matchup between these schools. Third quarter, Jackets running back Sean Harvey up the middle for a 32-yard score. Now it's Palatka's turn. DeMonte Ashley, a quick hitter to Keyshawn Hughes. Watch this guy run. Pretty much makes the entire team miss. One nifty move after another. He finds the end zone. 42-8. The Yellow Jackets sting the Panthers and win the ball game. Down in Miami, Southridge hosting Killian in a rivalry game. There's Southridge senior Nathan Wilcox with his game face on. Southridge on offense, and Jalen Williams to Jaheim Jerry, who makes a nice grab for the score. Killian's turn. Khalil Anglin to Kamari Lovett, who makes some guys miss and adjusts his helmet and scores. That's impressive, by the way. More from Killian Anglin to Frank Gore Jr., making Dad proud. And this game would come down to a field goal. Killian's Danny Diaz drills it, and the Cougars win a thriller 22-21.
Two 7-2 teams enter North Marion, taking on Columbia. Gyron Papa Gilmore takes the reverse sweep and cuts inside, finding the end zone. Papa's in the house. Columbia had a terrible time stopping the run, so the Colts turned to Ed Williams, who rushed for 4 touchdowns in the game. North Marion wins 41-34.
Didn't you used to love Columbia?
In Jacksonville, where Dixon County took on Westside, running back Amari Mahan, I do love him, breaks a tackle early, gets by 2 more Bears, and makes it to the end zone. And here is the star of the game, as promised. Mahan, who had 4 touchdowns, and they roll 43-8.
All right, back to Miami. Gulliver honoring its seniors, including Gabe Taylor, the late Sean Taylor's younger brother. Gulliver on offense against Delray's American Heritage. Look at that play by Amin Hassan, who fights for the ball and ends up fighting for the end zone. Then on the ground, Gulliver's ground game gets going. Keith Brown crosses the goal line. And now here is Gabe Taylor. Not only does he pick this ball off, but he turns it into an incredible run back. He refuses to go down. Somebody throw that guy a block. 34-13, Gulliver wins the game.
In the Tampa area, where Chamberlain takes on 9-0 Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner hands off to Dion Salas, who goes 15 yards in the score, 6-0 Warriors. For the Chiefs, Bruce Jackson throws on the run the long ball to Caleb Long, and that's a score. Jackson showing off his arm some more. This time, Joseph Hodge, the receiver, and the Chiefs hand Steinbrenner their first loss of the season, 26-20.
To Parkland, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Eagles hosting the Plantation Colonels, and apparently it's hammer time. Douglas strikes first, Matthew O'Dowd to Christian Higgins, who scores and soars like, well, an eagle. But Plantation wasn't impressed. Jacoby George comes in motion, takes the handoff, and he's just going to keep on running all the way into the end zone. Nobody can stop him, not even the marching band, Kailey. Shades of Cal versus Stanford in 1982. Google it, youngsters. Later, QB Gerard Nesbitt finds Devin Howard, and he finds the end zone. Plantation beats Douglas 39-10.
Coming up, Boca Raton is playing for Riley. And the playoff pairings are out. We break down who's playing who. Under the Lights is driven by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. By Vico Painting Contractors, a commercial painting company that delivers top quality work and excellent customer satisfaction. And by Orlando Health, a not-for-profit network of leading community hospital.
Let's start in Belle Glade for the Muck Bowl between Pahokee and Glade Central. Second quarter, Raiders get it popping, as the kids say, with a 4-yard TD run by Zamarian Harper. Later, Jose Garcia kicks a 32-yard field goal. Raiders lead 17-14 with 4:42 to go, but here comes Pahokee. Jermaine Roberson rolls right on 4th down, heaves a deep ball into the waiting arms of Johnny Jones for 39 yards. Then, with less than 30 seconds to go, the duo hooks up again for the game-winning score. Pahokee wins an absolute thriller, 21-17 to capture the Mud Bowl. Look out, Coach DJ Bolden. It's a victory bath. The end of that game had a pretty strong playoff feel, and Kailey, it's the right time of year for that.
Ooh, boy, I am so excited. We finally get to talk about the playoffs.
All right, Josh Wilson has been crunching the numbers all weekend. The pairings are out, so let's bring him in. Where would you like to begin, my friend?
Let's start with Class 1A with the rural schools. Start with Madison County, the defending 2-time state champion right now, looking for their first three-peat, but also keep an eye on Blountstown, 10-0. Both of these teams, I feel like they're going to be the teams that represent in this Class 1A state championship in Tallahassee, and I guarantee it's probably going to be a sellout if that happens.
Moving on to 2A, Josh, who do we like here?
Start with University Christian in the north, go with Champaign Catholic in the south. I think those two teams are the best teams right this second in Class 2A.
All right, let's go over to 3A. Chaminade Madonna, the defending state champs. Of course, they look pretty good behind star running back Thad Franklin, who's going to the U, by the way. What do you like out of them? Do they have a clear path?
I mean, their path's probably clear to get to the state championship game, but I have to really say go back and look at the team in the north that I really think is going to be the team that will come out of everything, and that's in Region 1 with the number 5 seed Trinity Christian. I've said if it started the season, they would probably finish 5-5, but whoever they face in the playoffs, they'll probably dominate it. As long as they take care of business at Trinity Catholic, and get through the Panhandle jinx against Pensacola Catholic in the week after that.
Okay, going to Region 4, it seems like some of these teams have a pretty easy road to Tallahassee. Who do you have playing there?
Well, actually, you know, with the thing with the easy path for the Class 4A thing with Bowles and with Cocoa coming out of Region 1 and 2, I think those are the two teams that will decide who's going to represent the North. But Lakewood in Region 3, they're going to dominate that bracket because of the way their path is set.
Okay, Josh, it seems like some of these regions maybe are easy to predict, but not Region 4 of Class 4A. Who do you have there?
But right this second, I think Cardinal Gibbons is that one team you really have to keep an eye on. I feel like, you know, Cardinal Gibbons has played just a slightly tougher schedule, but then again, you got to look at all these teams in Region 4, and again, you could pick any one of these teams, and you'd be right as to who emerges out as the Region 4 champ.
All right, Cardinal Gibbons. I like that, Josh. That's strong. Okay, Josh, you can take a break, take a breather, but don't go too far because we are coming back and we got a lot more with you. There's a lot more classes to cover.
Still to come, top performances and bracketology. Next, Under the Lights. The Florida Lottery Pick 4 Player of the Week is Jake Johnson from Timber Creek High School. Jake was 17 of 20 passing with 267 yards, 3 TDs passing, and even 1 receiving.
And here's a look at this week's Florida Lottery Pick 4 top performances. A lot of ground game this week, and it shows with 3 running backs making the list, 1 quarterback as well. Dwyer taking on Boca Raton in their homecoming game, a game the Bobcats needed to win to make the postseason. Andrew Calvary with the high pass to Barrett Joy for the touchdown, and Joy gets lifted up in celebration. The handoff to Stalis Demis increases the Bobcats' lead on their way to a 19-12 victory, and they advance to the playoffs.
The cliche of one game at a time is truly important now that Boca Raton is in the playoffs. Playing for a championship will forge relationships for the rest of these players' lives. But win or lose, the Boca Raton Bobcat family has already embraced that special bond beyond the game of football. The Boca Raton football team had to deal with adversity from the beginning of camp when a couple of key players transferred to other programs. The team was looking at a very tough season. Head coach Brandon Walker preached the next man up mentality.
I'm so excited for these kids. These kids have worked their tails off since last summer. They believed in what we were doing, and when you got a great group of kids that believes in what you're doing, you have success.
Coach Walker's done a hell of a job, you know, building these kids up, getting them to play for each other, getting them to play together as a family. Our motto is together we will.
The Bobcat family had to put the team motto in play. About a month ago, offensive line coach Jack Urbanak and his wife Megan found out that their daughter Riley had a brain tumor on her 2nd birthday.
Jack and his wife Megan, who both work at our school, are tremendous assets to not only the kids in school, but also our athletes here. Jack's been a coach here for 15 years, and so it's really devastating.
He's a high energy guy. The kids love him. We love him, you know, and we did it tonight for him.
The team is fighting for Riley. Hashtag for Riley is on the players' backs during warm-ups. It's on their decals on the helmets, and it's even on their wristbands. The amount of support it's giving Coach Herb is much appreciated.
I have about 100 sons, you know, teenage boys, and I look at each and every one of them like they are a family to me. And I love them all deeply.
The Boca community has been showering the Urbanacs with support, who in addition to the fight for Riley, are expecting another child. The team knows that there are life lessons here that go beyond the game.
I just love Herb, and we play, you know, you count your blessings, and it's just unfortunate that this bad stuff comes to good people. But, you know, it brought us together more, helped us play as a team, and, you know, for Riley.
Making it to the playoffs is a major accomplishment for the Bobcats. But to truly honor Riley, they want to achieve much more.
Only making it to playoffs is not compared to how hard she is fighting. Winning states is how hard she's fighting. So that's really my motivation.
If you'd like to help with donations, there's a PayPal account set up for the family, and all you have to do is email the AD, Matt Ryder, at the school. The email is right here on the screen. Matt actually gave us the shirt off his back to let us use in the show. You see here it says hashtag for Riley.
And Boca Raton did not get a favorable seed. We welcome in Josh Wilson from FloridaHSFootball.com. How difficult is it going to be for Boca Raton to move past Vero Beach?
It's going to be difficult, Kaylee. It's going to be tough because of their defense with Vero Beach. They got to play a perfect game. But, you know, looking at overall in that 8A bracket, only Vero Beach, I think Barton Trail is another team that you got to keep an eye on coming out of the play in the 8A bracket.
We know Region 4 gets a lot of love, but look at that first round game. You got South Dade taking on Western.
South Dade and Western, that's an intriguing 4-5 matchup, and it'll be a good quality game. You know, the team I'm really on the train about is Miami Palmetto. I think that's going to be the team that comes out of Region 4 this year.
All right, let's move on to 7A. Now, I'm not a smart man, and I don't understand this one, Josh. Lakeland is the #1 team in the state, but yet not even a #1 seed in their region. What is going on?
It's just Armwood had a better strength of schedule, and that's what it boiled down to. And, you know, it doesn't say that Lakeland's still not a good team, a #1 team. It just happens to be the way the numbers came out at the end. And but it's the playoff path for Lakeland, you know, it's got to go through Armwood and maybe potentially through Edgewater. So it's going to be a tough road. But, hey, until somebody beats them, they're #1.
Who do you have in 6A? Because all eyes down in that South region again. Miami Central, they've had a good year, maybe not a great year. Can they put it all together?
It depends on which team you get each week during the playoffs. Is it going to be the team that Miami Central can win, or is it going to be the team that falls apart, you know, and doesn't get the plays that they need? That'll be the big thing right there for Miami Central, is which team will show up during the weekend. But, you know, I mean, there's some other teams in that bracket, and I think, you know, Escambia at 10-0, and that's going to be a team to really watch coming out of the North. And if they make that run, hey, it could be anybody's ball game in Class 6A.
Moving on to 5A, they have some pretty stiff competition. Rockledge, one of those.
Rockledge, yeah, they're going to draw Tampa Chamberlain in the first round, and Chamberlain's going to give them some fits. They probably will move past that and get through that game. But you know, one game I'm really looking forward to is that Lake Wells Rockledge matchup if it gets to the regional final.
All right, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but Region 4 again looks interesting again.
It looks interesting again, especially with American Heritage, the #1 seed, Miami Northwestern, #2 seed. I think those two teams are going to meet for the regional final. One of them's going to get through, and then probably end up playing Rockledge or Lake Wells for the state semifinal. And hey, somebody will represent the South. It's just a matter. There's a great quality of teams in the South to represent.
Well, thank you so much, Josh. As always, to get more content on the playoffs, you can head over to FloridaHSFootball.com.
That is all for our show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And as always, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you. This has been Under the Lights Florida High School Football Final, driven by Honda.